continue with our tutorials for rigging, and then what we're going to do is we're going to work our character right the way up, animate them up with some walk cycles, run cycles, idle animations, interactive animations, and then we're going to apply those and drop them into Unity. But first up, what I want to do is just do a little bit of setup work. What I really need to stress, and it'll really help you guys out, is let's say that this character rig's finished. I'm just going to save this out, Command Shift and S, and let's just make sure where this is getting dropped. Let's say this is sort of final rig V1. I've saved it as an ASCII file as well. Right, so that's saved. I'm going to create a new scene, and this is something really important. So let's say I'm just going to create a reference. So I'm going to pull in this final reference, and let's just hit that reference. So we've created a reference of this character, and I'm going to set this to 25 frames. Again, set it to 25 frames, and I'm going to save this as final rig 1. Walk start. Sorry, trot start. So I'm working with a quadruped. You guys will be working with a biped. And I'm just gonna set this up. So let's say we start plotting down some keyframes for our animation, but then we realize actually we want to then add in some further controls. If we were to just have imported this file, our character rig, into this scene, trot start, any adjustments that we would make to the character rig would just reside within that file. But actually what we need to do is we've pulled in this separate character rig, and any changes we make to that base rig, the referenced file, will then carry over into all of the separate animations. So let's say I'm just going to save this out as trot start. So let's select this foot, so it just has translate, rotate, scale, visibility, and you can see that on both feet it's the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to then open up this scene, so which is final rig, hit open, and we're going to start adding some new attributes. So I'm going to go into here, attributes, add attribute, foot roll, minimum of 0, maximum of 5, hit add. Again, let's select this object, again foot roll, minimum of 0, maximum of 5, hit add, OK. So that'll kind of close that down, and you can see there how we've added these two attributes over here, in each of these sort of additional to the sort of base translate, rotate, scale. And let's just save this and then open up our animation of where we'd started to, would just created that reference file of where we would be starting to produce the animation. Let's hit open, and then let's now just select this manipulator, and you can see there the foot roll's being added. So what I'm kind of pointing out is any attributes that we need to add will carry over from this scene. Let's say we're gonna now create this as canter start, and then we should save this out as gallop start. And then let's go back into this reference file, hit open. So we've got foot roll added to these. Let's maybe add a new one. Let's say add attribute foot twist. Not that we would perhaps need this, but let's just say minimum -5 and maximum of 5. Hit add. Select this foot twist, -5, maximum of 5. Hit add. Again, foot roll, 0 and 5. So all we're doing is adding in our own custom attributes. Foot roll, 0 and 5, hit add, close this, and now save that. So we've just saved over the final rig. We've added in the foot roll, we've added in the foot roll, we've added in the foot twist, we've added in the foot twist on this leg as well. Let's go open up any of these files, either the canter, the gallop, the trot, doesn't really matter which one, and you'll see that when we select any of these attributes, the foot roll and the foot twist has been added, and the foot roll and foot twist being updated as well. You might think, well, whatever, that's not particularly important. Let's say you started animating your character and you think, actually this character rig isn't really working, we need to update things quite dramatically, we need to change the controls. As long as you're not deleting controls or manipulators, it won't have any kind of long lasting effects. But if you start adding in additional controls to speed up your workflow and process, it'll be really useful for you. So it's just something to bear in mind. Ideally, when you start setting up your animations, you want to be referencing in your character rig so that any changes you make further down the pipeline will correlate over all of the individual animations, so you're not then having to re-import and really lose work. That's essentially what this will do. So I'm just going to save this out, and I'm going to begin working on the trot animation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up some visual reference as keyframes. We're going to look at Richard Williams animation survival kit, and I'm going to pull up some visual reference of each of the specific frames that I would be looking at, and then when you are animating, you will be looking at specific reference for what you guys are going to be using as a template. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.